Hello and welcome to E3 2018. I'm Jane, this is Andy, and we've only bloody just seen Cyberpunk 2077.
That's right, Jane.
What was that, Andy?
It blew my mind is what it was.
Well, Andy, what I'd like to talk to you about right now are the reactions you had watching Cyberpunk 2077
How many?
just
'Cause
now.
I had so many reactions. How many do you want?
Solid 6 would do it.
All right, let's go.
It's a city of dreams, and I'm a big dreamer.
So let me set the scene for you, Andy, the scene you, in fact, just saw.
Yeah.
In an extensive gameplay demo, may I might add, for Cyberpunk 2077. It begins. We begin on a shot of a lady cyberpunk and a dude cyberpunk, and you're going to choose which cyberpunk you're going to be.
Yeah. If you want to be the man cyberpunk or the lady cyberpunk, but the most important thing is, damn, that's a cool jacket.
That was your reaction, was it?
Well, mostly. Did you see the jacket?
I did see the
jacket.
jacket.
It's in the trailer, the jacket I'm talking about.
Is
but we're
exactly
talking
what I said.
Big collar with, like, it looks like a 3-bar fire, almost. Like it's the sort of thing you would
But
put
better
to, like,
than
heat your
that
house.
sounds.
Better than it sounds.
And how customizable was it?
That was so customizable. You can change the colour of the lights
Colour of the
in your
lights
collar.
in the collar, but also the
colour
colour of the glow of the lights on your collar. And you kind of called this back when they unveiled Cyberpunk 2077 in a substantial way at the Xbox conference.
Yeah.
You were like, I bet you can customise that jacket.
Yeah, set glow patterns, things like that.
Yeah,
I mean,
it's like an Alienware keyboard.
Oh, yeah.
You can just have it strobe through rainbow colours.
I love that though. That's a developer
Probably
that
not.
really understands the way I play games, which is my end goal is the best jacket in the game with the best collar. So,
okay. But
thank
more
you for
broadly,
understanding.
what you wanted to talk about was character customization, which is very
Indeed.
agreeably deep, I
yeah,
think.
well, for a start, so many Cyberpunk half-shaved haircuts to choose from. I mean, you'd think there'd just be one, with just the one side panel shaved.
A lot of dope fades going on.
Man, you can shave any part of that.
The
you want.
dopest. It's
I'm here
all
for
the
those.
cosmetic stuff, the eye colour, all
the
of
makeup,
the things you
the
would
piercings,
expect.
all that stuff.
But then let's get
you
real.
do.
What about the actual stats? Hit me.
So there's a bunch of different stats you can put your starting points into: strength, constitution, intelligence, reflexes, tech, and my favourite stat of all, cool.
Yeah.
I think I want to put all my points into cool.
Just be fully cool.
And then just sit around.
What else
going,
do you need stats-wise?
Yeah. Can someone else?
Be completely useless as a hacker or as a cyber warrior.
But I'll get in there and people will be about to shoot me and they'll go, God, that guy
I
is
feel like
cool.
it's going to be an analogue to like a charisma stat, like a persuasion stat.
Well, they talked about there being a street cred level that you have in the game, and that sort of opens up like quests, and it affects the way that people react to you. So I'm thinking that the cool stat sort of is a multiplier on how quickly you accumulate street cred.
By doing missions and such.
Yeah, doing missions and things like that. That's a kind of bit of speculation, but I just love the fact that there's a cool stat.
Yeah.
I think that's great. There's a couple other bits as well. You can pick your character's childhood hero.
Right, so this was the backstory element. There were 3 choices. It's like why you're in town, who was your childhood hero, and it was like a tragic backstory element or something.
But it really reminded me of in Mass Effect. You can choose the
were
backstory
you
for your
the child
Shepard.
of a colonist family, etc., etc. So that's going to shape your backstory and presumably your story going on through the game.
But it seemed like the sort of character creator you could spend hours and hours and hours in
And
before
I will.
you even get to the game.
I fully will.
So look forward to that.
Now moving on through the demo, you're there to rescue a missing person, find a missing person.
That's right.
And you do. She's in an ice bath.
Yep.
She's had bad times, but she's been harvested of her implants.
Yeah, by scavengers.
And then what do you do? What happens? What was your reaction?
Well, my reaction to that was that your cyber brain is a massive liability. Well, it turns out that in the future, people can hack brains of other people because they've got all
what
computers
won't they
going
think
on in
of
there.
next?
So the person that you're looking for, she has had, she's got a load of like security software in her brain that's been blocked, so people don't know where she is. And she was part of like a medical insurance thing, which this is one of my favorite things in the whole demo, was once you remove the blocker on it, basically a SWAT team of doctors turns up to like rescue her.
Right.
Which is like the most high-end medical insurance for really rich people. Later in the demo, we saw during the combat some of the hacking that you can do to the enemy soldiers that you were fighting. So you're able to get into people's brains, and you get access to everything that they've got access to as well. So you have to stealth up behind them and basically plug in a USB cord. But
It looks like a little SD card, some of them. Have like
yeah,
a little
they've got
SD
just
slot under
just
the ear there.
Pop that out. But it's
Yeah.
so they hacked into a guy and it gave them access to all of the security.
The building security and then his like squad's
Yeah.
own neural networks.
And
Yeah,
you were able to
very vulnerable.
hack into one of the guys and stop him being able to fire his gun. Like they have these guys that we were against, the Maelstrom gang. They're very tech oriented and they had a mind link between them and their guns. But you can just get in there and disrupt that.
Think
and then
it through, guys.
this guy, like,
You've
can't
got
fire his
hackable
gun.
brains, you've got hackable guns.
But it works both ways because also in the demo that we saw,
Oh, yeah.
we got hacked, or the player character got
Right.
hacked we were doing a mission.
They simply punch you until you're on the ground.
Yeah, and then plug in a cord, and it was like lie detector software that they put in us. So we were having the conversation, but every time we told a lie, they knew that we were lying.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
did like that we were still able to lie, even
It's
though
that
we knew.
RPG trope where you can attempt to lie, but in this case averted because they will know when you're attempting to lie.
Yeah,
which was
they just
neat.
got to read out,
Yeah.
and they're like, yep, she's lying.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh man.
That was extremely cool.
Yeah.
I was there with you, Andy, in there.
Sure were.
In that Cyberpunk 2077 demo, and I felt you had a particularly strong, visceral reaction to one element.
Yep.
You know the one I'm talking about.
Yeah,
What was that reaction?
The one that made me say, damn, I want mantis arms. They did give us this promotional statue. That is a mantis arm, or what we're calling a mantis arm. It's basically your arm opens up and these big hooked blades come out.
It's like the foreclaws of a big praying mantis.
Yeah. But yeah, you can use those as an offensive weapon, as you would imagine, being a
Of
big
course.
hooked blade that comes out. But you can also use them to traverse around. So they were using them to stick into a wall, like climbing axes, and sort of making their way across a wall to get a high vantage point on some enemies. So basically, all my points into mantis arms as soon as they become available, I think.
Yeah.
But that's just one example of cyberware, they call it, which are the upgrades that you can apply to your
Okay.
cyborg body.
Body
Which
mods.
is one of the examples that we saw in the demo. There was
Okay.
also the Kiroshi optical mod, which is a new
It's an eyeball.
a robot eyeball that gives you you can zoom in on things, and it gives you an overlay that shows you how much of a threat someone is and like their gang affiliation and things like that. So that was one that we saw. And
It's
also
what you always wanted Google Glass to be, just
Basically.
fully augmented reality. And zooming. You can zoom real good on distant objects.
which is pretty good. And also we saw a subdermal grip for your hands, which is like just it means you can grip weapons better. It gives you greater damage on guns, and also apparently you can use locked weapons, so things that have been locked to a certain user. So that was cool. And there was also like a reflex boost that we saw that you could slow down time
Yeah,
when
yeah.
you entered rooms. So that was particularly good as well for like taking out rooms full of enemies. But it's going to be one of those situations like Deus Ex where you can decide which bits of cyberware play best to the way that you want to
Yeah,
play, and
yeah.
there isn't a class system in the game, but you sort of develop your class as you go through, depending on the cyberware that you want to add.
Yeah, the class system is fluid, so you're not going to have to pick a particular class to play. At the beginning of the game, you're going to choose the body mods and play the way you want and let that tailor your play style as you go. I just wanted to say, sidebar, I really enjoy the way Cyberpunk keys so neatly into the idea of a role-playing game progression system,
Yeah.
the way that body modifications exactly apply as a perfect analog to choose this skill, because the in-world fictional premise is that you're getting a new modification, you're getting new software. Cyberpunk is almost like the ideal fictional genre for that kind of an RPG character system.
That's a really good point. Yeah.
I think the most impactful visual moment of a lot of very impactful visual moments in that demo, for me, was the big reveal of Night City as you step out into a proper cityscape for the first time. And it is just astonishing. And I enjoy so hard how Cyberpunk 2077 has found a new way to do that cyberpunk aesthetic, because we've seen so many warmed over Blade Runner rehashes.
Got neon and rain and
Just kind of moody sort of Asian neon aesthetic, fog, gritty noir, but also sci-fi. And obviously there are elements of that in Cyberpunk 2077, but so much sci-fi just lifts directly from Blade Runner, and I feel like to have the same impact that Blade Runner had all those years ago, you have to do something a bit novel.
Yeah.
And the saturation, the way everything is a little bit bright, a little bit
So
over
colourful.
bright,
Yeah.
lots of pops of colour, and at the same time not being Disneyfied, not being like cute or cartoony. It's
Yeah.
really, really eye-poppingly, attention-grabbingly good.
Yeah, there were some really nice little details of it being a sort of a livable city. So things like you look at the road crossing, and it was like a holographic crossing that told you when to cross, and the people around you were crossing when it was time to cross. And
Yeah.
there were things like advertising billboards that you could look at, and you would click on it, and it would tell you where you could purchase the thing that was being advertised. So there was a can of soda being advertised. You click on that, and it's like there's a vending machine 40 meters away if you want to go
Yeah.
and get yourself one of those.
They've really put a lot of thought into the nitty-gritty detail of the world building, like a Disneyland, but like a cyberpunk Disneyland. Later on in the demo,
Yeah.
out in the open world, climbed into our car.
Oh.
Actually, climbed into our sidekick Jackie's car.
Yeah, it was Jackie's car. He wanted to make
Sorry,
that very
Jackie.
clear. Yeah.
And I think there was a reaction there.
Yeah, it was.
What did
only-
you think?
I really want this car, and I don't even like cars.
Andy famously not that into cars.
I don't hate cars.
You like
I
cars?
just, I'm
they get you
ambivalent
from A
about
to B.
cars. Yeah,
But
exactly.
even so,
It was. I think you described it as like Kit from Knight Rider, and the Mad Max car had a baby.
yeah.
And it's a sweet bit.
But
of,
with more bits,
Yeah.
more neon, a
Yeah.
bit fancier.
And it's got one of
more
those
refined.
steering wheels that is like not a full steering wheel. It's like two handles. Is there
That's
a word
the coolest
for that?
kind.
I don't
Mike,
know. It was Mike.
Mike, what do you call that?
I can't hear
What do
him.
oh wait, we can't
can't hear
hear
Mike.
him through the camera.
But it's the fact that you're driving around in first person, like through the streets, and you can sort of go where you want to go around the city, which is great. And also we got into a bit of car combat as well.
Yeah, there was like a randomized procedural encounter in the world with a faction whose bad side we were on.
Yes.
Scavengers?
The
Scavs?
Yeah, the scavs. So I think when you anger certain gangs, if they see you out and about, they'll come after you to try and get some retribution. So that's what happened. And we gave the wheel back to Jackie, and we were leaning out and doing a bit of leaning out the window shooting, and it's very exciting.
It's exactly the cyberpunk power fantasy
Yeah, pretty
that
much.
I want.
In an awesome car.
Leaning out of an awesome car, shooting a bunch of scavengers.
With a cool coat on.
And then,
Yeah.
and then Andy,
Uh-huh.
and then we were in a meat packing factory, I want to say.
Yeah, we sure
It was
were.
a really grim warehouse where these Maelstrom gangers had
Oh,
set
yeah.
up.
Those
Bad
guys.
dudes.
Bad
dudes.
guys.
A little too into the cybernetic implants,
Yeah, they
if
just
you
wanna
ask
be
me.
robots.
Just taking it too far.
Yeah.
Just taking the face clean off, put a bunch of lights in there. Doesn't
But-
seem like a good trade to me.
No, I'd prefer to have a face. But
Yeah.
I mean, we were in there to buy a bit of robotic technology.
And we're like, sure, we'll go buy that robot
Yeah, that
on
sounds
a mission.
good. I love robots, and we got it
Who
in
doesn't
there, and
love
it
a
turned
robot?
out to be a robot spider.
Yeah, and you were hoping it'd be like the big cuddly one from Big Hero 6.
Oh,
No.
little Baymax.
It's a
That'd be great.
terrifying spider robot.
But no, it's a horrible scuttling spider robot that immediately went up the walls and made me feel weird. But after we finished that mission, we were given, you get a sliver of the robot, and you're able to like patch into it, and then that robot obeys your commands basically. And they were saying that you are able to see through the robot's eyes, so you can send it out to scouts. But I think
gonna be your
also,
drone, right?
Yeah, it's basically going to be a drone in the game, which is great. But there were other weapons that we saw as well that are good. Like you get tech upgrades to weapons. So we had a shotgun, but you get a tech upgrade on that that can shoot through walls. And we were also using a smart gun that was a bit like the smart pistol from Titanfall,
Yeah.
in that you aim sort of vaguely near the thing you want to hit. And the
Still
bullets
seems
will
like
go
cheating to
through.
me.
I mean, it is, yeah, but some of us aren't very good at shooting.
Right,
So
right.
we need all the help we can get.
And in the future of 2077, they found your solution.
Yeah, spider bots and smart guns.
Yeah, but also the ricochet targeting
Oh, that was cool.
extremely cool. It's a bit like, you ever played Peggle?
Yes.
You know the power in Peggle, where it shows you where your ball's going to go and how's it going to bounce and where's it going to end up. It's that, but with a gun.
Yeah, so you can see where your bullet's going to ricochet off a wall and hit people behind cover. It's fantastically useful.
They've really thought about how many ways we're going to have new and exciting ways to shoot people
Yeah.
in the cyberpunk future.
Once we got tired of mantis arming people to death, which I don't think will ever happen.
Just look at these pitiful human arms.
that.
They don't even fold out into like mantis claws.
Not even a claw
What's even
on
the
that.
point of that? I hate them so much. Well, you've only got how many years to wait? Less than 60.
Yeah.
Fewer than 60 years to wait.
59 years.
Yeah.
And then I can get
We'll be
those
there.
horrible mantis arms and a
Yeah.
horrible robot spider I can't bear to look at.
Yeah.
Can't wait.
Up yours, Adam Jensen. What you got?
Yeah.
Can't deny it, it's all true. But everybody still wants to live here.
Well, I guess now's the time to just go and wait until Cyberpunk 2077 comes out.
Yeah, I mean,
It's going to be some time.
We haven't got a release date, so I guess
Indefinitely waiting.
indefinite waiting until then. If you need us, that's where we'll be.
But real talk though,
Yeah.
incredibly impressive demo.
Yeah, I think it's the talk of the show. Everyone who's seen the demo has come out saying this is a really
It was a
impressive looking
knockout.
game.
Yeah.
So yeah, definitely one to keep your eye on. Thanks for watching this video. Like and subscribe if you enjoyed it, and we'll see you next time on Outside Xbox for more on Cyberpunk, because we can't wait to play more.